Now we come to scenes we'd like to see, so if everyone can make their way over to the performance area, please. I'll read out this week's topics, and then we'll see what our panellists can come up with. OK, here we go. The first subject is things you wouldn't hear at a school assembly.
OK, today we're going to have a special outing. So, Miss Williams, if you'd like to tell everybody why you're a lesbian.
We welcome a new member of staff today. He has no arms and no legs and no body, and we will call him the Head.
Would whoever's milkshake is bringing all the boys to the yard, please stop it.
I'm sorry to keep you waiting, boys and girls. I've just had a shit the size of a baby seal.
If you are found in possession of cocaine, you will be given 100 lines. No, wait.
And today in the after-school club, we're going to be using paper mache to make a mother that actually loves you enough to pick you up at 3 o'clock.
I'm delighted to say that during the summer holidays, Mr. Wang married Miss Kerr. His nickname will remain the same.
A wise man once said, boys and girls, that if you try your hardest, you can fulfil your dreams. Generally, that's true. Not for you, though, Tom. You can't read. So...
And today, everyone, we have a new boy. Now, for some reason, whatever reason, he's been to a lot of schools, so be kind to him. Will you please make your way to the front? Richard Poo Willie.
A word about registers. Most of the staff are on one.
So that is how you put on a condom. But, sir, shouldn't you have used a cucumber? Not with that E. coli kicking around.
Sorry I'm late. I just had a bit of a run-in with an interactive whiteboard. It told me to fuck off.
I've had all your mums.
OK. The next topic is unlikely things to hear on a TV talent show.
Tonight, I'm going to be climbing a SIP ladder.
You're right. I can't sing. Thanks.
I'd like to dedicate this song to a friend of mine who was run over last week and is in hospital. The wheels of the bus go round, 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 round.
I've got an ability that no one on this planet has. That's Ant, that's Deck.
It was like Elvis was in the building. You're fat and there's a stench of death.
Oh, Peter, it's not what everyone would call entertainment, but you are one hell of an assassin.
I thought you hit the high notes really, really well. Be interesting to see if you can still do that when I haven't got your nuts in a clamp.
Oh. Where's my double act partner? Oh, he's in here. Feeling nothing more than feeling. Trying to hold.
When you said you were going to ride a donkey...
Yes, I have been on the show before. I was once trapped in somebody else's underpants, going, feeling.
That was an exceptional performance, and the way that you have overcome your blindness is truly inspirational, but this is a chip shop, the X Factor audition.
I'm going going to be honest with you. I think you're all terrible, OK? All of you, you're completely dreadful. I don't know what you're doing. Especially you, Hasselhoff. What have you done since Baywatch?
And as well as that, I can unzip the top of my head. It's where I keep my pyjamas.
I know you said you were a Gary Glitter tribute act, but we weren't expecting you to do that.
Unlikely things to hear on a history documentary.
The Russians had Lemsip. The Americans had night nurse. This was the Cold War.
And it was in this humble florist that the War of the Roses began.
Guy Fawkes' bid to blow up the Houses of Parliament failed when he realised his body was made of jumpers and his head was an old football.
Tonight on Bruce Forsyth's History of Britain, Boadicea, Decea Bode!
Horatio Nelson, one arm, one eye. A tragic example of what can happen if you fall asleep and someone finds your organ donor card.
Welcome to Biggest Historical Boobs with me, Katie Price.
Tonight, I intend to find out exactly what did happen to Hitler's other ball. And my search begins right here in the Albert Hall.
And on Time Team tonight we're in Stratford-on-Avon, where we've uncovered loads of monkey skeletons and some typewriters.
When Hitler started writing Mein Kampf, he intended it to be a light-hearted romp called Carry On Camping.
John F. Kennedy, Indira Gandhi, John Lennon. If history teaches us anything, it's that if you don't want your child assassinated, don't name them after an airport.
To be honest, I'm not interested in all this old nonsense, really, but since the end of Blackadder, the work's been fairly hard to come by.
It's hard to believe that this crumbling old ruin presented Weakest Link for as long as she did.
Of course, the Bronze Age was the third best age in history.
And now the documentary that every Channel 5 commissioner has dreamt of. Did Hitler sink the Titanic?
We've been digging in this field in Hampshire for 3 weeks and we've found this one piece of crockery which tells us we desperately need to get laid.
OK, the next topic is unlikely things to hear over a tannoy.
We apologise to customers who have recently alighted at Northampton. I opened the wrong doors.
Could all the people shopping here at Asda please accept that you are piss poor?
Clean up required in the magazine aisle between loaded and nuts.
Would the parents of the lost child please pick him up from the meeting point? Madonna is trying to buy him.
I'd like to remind customers that our special offer this week is 100% off German bean sprouts.
If you would like to upgrade to first class, then you should have worked harder at school and got a better job.
Could the small boy holding the owl stop running at the wall between platforms 9 and 10?
Would the man on pump number 4 please remove the nozzle from the backside of the man on pump number 6?
Could the owner of the Ford Fiesta 1100 in the car park with the tinted windows and the go faster stripes. Sort your life out, mate. We'll get the price.
I can't remember what the code is. Would Mr. Fire please report to the kitchen? That's Mr. Out of Control Fire. Please report to the kitchen before it's too late. I don't want to start a panic.
The train now approaching platforms 3, 4 and 5 is the derailed train from Swansea.
Would the owners of a black Jaguar please move it as it's attacking the customers?
This is your captain speaking. You can now turn on your mobile phones as you'll need to text your loved ones goodbye as we plummet into the sea.
Unlikely lines from a superhero film.
Worry not, Procrastination Man is here. Where is everybody? What's with all the blood?
Catwoman, what did I tell you about not shitting in next door's garden?
I am Big Society Man. I could do it for you, but I'd much rather you did it yourself.
Prepare to meet a new breed of sex-change superhero in the X-Men.
Yes, I do believe a man can fly, but only if he's carrying under 100 mils.
I am Parking Review Man. Where's my check?
Wow, Iron Man, how did you get all the creases out?
Just call the police.
Is it a bird? Is it a plane? Well, if you don't know that, what the hell are you doing in air traffic control?
What use is a spider's web against me, Duster Man and Hoover Boy?
Hello, I'm Batman Begins.
I'm sexist, I'm racist, and I drive like an arsehole. I am White Van Man.
Should I do...
Yeah.
You're doing it. This is part of it.
Oh, shit. Okay, the next topic is unlikely things for a continuity announcer to say.
And now, to upset children everywhere, it's Peppa Pig in pepper sauce.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Nigella will be back at the same time next week.
Up next, Ryan Giggs appears on Footballers' Wives.
Next up on Channel 4, live from Switzerland, it's Come Die With Me.
And now for a special episode of Planet Earth, where 6 chimpanzees will watch David Attenborough have sex.
And now is the time I have to be extremely careful, because the next programme is about Roald Dahl, genius behind Willy Wanker's Chuck Bollocks.
Next on the History Channel, World War II in colour. Look away if you don't want to know how it ends.
Just to clear up some confusion for our regular viewers, ITV 2+1 is not the same as ITV3.
First, though, there's a serial killer on the loose in Balamory.
If you've been affected by some of the issues in EastEnders, they must have been acting it better than they usually do.
And now, Gordon Ramsay's kitchen nightmares for the hard of hearing.
You're watching the Dignitas channel. For God's sake, don't press the red button.
Next up, it's Bargain Hunt, which is also rhyming slang for the bloke who presents it.
Right now, Kate Humble's in the lambing shed.
Oh. Unlikely agony aunt letters.
Dear Deirdre, I have recently become obsessed with a woman and begun stalking her. Look out of the window.
My partner won't give me oral sex, which is really annoying, because that's the only reason I formed the coalition with him in the first place.
My wife says I don't feel anything, which is a problem, and there was something else. Oh yes, I'm on fire.
I'm 26, my girlfriend's 36. Is 10 years too big an age gap? Because her daughter's 16, she's a right little soul.
I have recently met a woman who makes me feel young again. She's 167.
Dear Deirdre, I'm from Nigeria, and I'm fed up of Mickey Flanagan mocking my accent.
Dear Auntie, I'm a very, very nervous person, and sudden noises really startle me. In fact, even if I hear a buzzer, a bit of wee comes out.
My mates are all getting into drugs, but I don't know what to do. Should I charge them mates rates or just normal prices?
Dear Deirdre, I am a control freak. What should I do? I'll tell you what I should do.
I am 96, but I'm convinced that young women fancy me. Do I have penile dementia?
I've been wanting to come and see you for a long time, but I can't get out of the chair.
I am a man trapped inside the body of a woman. Could you tell us, please, how to get out of position 43 of the Kama Sutra?
I work in the public sector, and I'm really, really, really worried about my pension.
Okay, the next topic is unlikely things to hear at Wimbledon.
Well, at 2 sets down, let's see what he's got in his locker. He's not going to be there for about 20 minutes. I've got a crowbar.
Serena Williams has been seeded. You've got to admire the bravery of that bloke.
Hello, I'm Sue Barker. You may remember my father, Chew Barker.
Well, they say that the All England Club is a bit behind the times, and that's why this small boy has just had his hand chopped off for stealing a strawberry.
I am a tennis umpire and gay, and it wasn't easy to come out.
What a fantastic slice, but I do think the All England Club will insist she wears knickers again next year.
Fuck off, Tim!
Well, how did the umpire get up there? I think he must have used a Sepp Blatter.
course, this year the British players play a lot better. If we look at this graph, we see huge biceps and an angry... Sorry, Steffi, wrong graph.
And for any of our Scottish viewers, what you can see there in that glass of Pimm's is fruit.
Andy Murray here. Andy Murray not being able to make it here today, but we do have his cab driver on the other line. Can you tell us what's occurred? I can't get out the cab!
And the mound has taken a real pounding in the last fortnights. I think the All England club are fine with it as long as it doesn't affect her tennis.
Unlikely questions from this year's exams.
Discuss the metaphysical meaning of the following poem. My friend Billy has a 10-foot willy.
Would you like this exam to be A, multiple choice, or not?
The Bronte sisters. Shag, marry, push off a cliff.
Discuss the following. The Nazis got all their ideas from the History Channel.
Who's the chap in the A team who would not get on the aeroplane? Was it A, B, or B, A?
If a bank loses £60 billion in a 6-month period, using numbers that you've plucked out of thin air, work out what the chief executive's bonus will be.
Napoleon, a small man or a long way away?
Quantify n in terms of q when q is a positive integer that dissects a parabolic curve.
How's your lucky pencil case now?
What's the name of that round thing that they throw in the Olympics? Discuss.
Poetry.
Is it all a bit gay?
Draw a diagram of the genitalia of the male elephant. Use all 30 sheets of paper provided.
Biology. Without singing, what is the knee bone connected to?
Explain the use of juxtaposition in Macbeth. Alternatively, write down everything you know about Macbeth in a blind panic because you've got no idea what the word juxtaposition is.
Drama. Question 1. What was it that first made you want to become a waiter?
What is your PIN number?
OK, the next topic is unlikely things to read on a motorway sign.
For Middlesbrough, take the exit marked hell and then lose the will to live.
Accident. You were one. Love, Mum and Dad.
When lights flash, dogging is about to start.
There may be trouble ahead. Prepare to face music and dance.
You are now 200 metres beyond the junction that your piece of shit sat-nav is telling you you're approaching now.
For those of you looking for more safety tips, text now.
Beware, giant scissors coming towards you along the dotted lines.
Turn on lights in tunnel. They're on the right, just above the entrance.
Turn off the sat-nav. Use the force, Luke.
The North. where the men are real men, and so are quite a lot of the women.
If you can taste this sign, it means you've crashed into it.
Throw banana skin behind car now. Super Mario and Diddy Kong approaching from rear.
There was a young man from Preston who tried to drive to Heston. The sign wouldn't rhyme and he ploughed into the back of a juggernaut.
Pick us up a pint of milk, Tell. Thanks, Trace.
Unlikely lines from children's books.
Yes, it is sad. I used to be on Top Gear, said Stig of the Dump.
Jack, do you have any more of those beans?
A Stringfellow? What's a Stringfellow? A Stringfellow? Why, didn't you know it has tanned leather skin and a massive libido and bad 80s hair and a grin like a pedo?
This little piggy went to market, and this little piggy stayed at home, and this little piggy went and died horribly of swine flu.
Let's learn the alphabet. A is for adopted, like you. B is for basmati.
And as Eeyore put the noose around his neck.
No, I don't think you should shave, Bilbo, said Frodo. Those feet need waxing.
Yes, Grandma. What a big TV screen you got. Said Little Red Riding Hoodie.
Who's been sleeping in my bed? Said Daddy Bear. Well, said Mummy Bear, it's been your brother Ryan, and he's a much better shag than you are.
I want to go to Tottenham, said Max. That's where the wild things are.
The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, or as we like to call them, the Sugar Babes.
Once upon a time in a faraway land, there was a handsome young prince named Dara.
Where's Gaddafi?
The railway children gesticulated wildly at the driver. You've left us behind, you wanker!
Oh dear, said Postman Pat. I've just had sex with my cat Jess. I should have gone to Specsavers.
And so Emily learned. If she'd just been a nicer little girl, Mummy and Daddy would never have got divorced.
Do you know what? Said the very hungry caterpillar. This gastric band has changed my life.
Okay, the next topic is unlikely things for a sports commentator to say.
And there's just yet another Grand Slam victory for Andy Murray.
And now we come to the javelin. If you're watching in 3D, you might want to look away now.
And here we are at the women's football, but while you're enjoying the game, please spare a thought for the men at home who are going without dinner this evening.
Well, he's stroked that through the covers. Surely it would have been easier just to pull back the duvet.
And here at the British Grand Prix, we've already had a couple of fatalities. Yes, 2 of the crowd have died of boredom.
Lewis Hamilton is 3 seconds ahead, but there's trouble at turn 17 as Dastardly and Muttley have dug a pit.
I'm here at the Green Court Bowls, and I've started cutting myself.
He's got the right hook in, he's got the left hook in, and he's finally finished putting up those curtains.
Well, welcome back after the break. You haven't missed much, just the entire Indian innings.
Now let's go back to Henley, where Claire Balding is standing with two cocks.
There's Rio Ferdinand. What a tackle! But enough from me. I really should let these lads continue getting changed.
Alex Ferguson has substituted Wayne Rooney. Of course, not the first time Rooney has been pulled off by a 69-year-old.
Well, what a result. The UK Somalian has beat America's Kenyan to show that the Africans aren't going to have it all their own way.
Thanks for all those fantastic statistics there, Motty. Now go and get a fucking life.
Unlikely lines from a horror film.
You've got a flat screen TV and brand new trainers. I know what you did last summer.
I'm sorry, it's just you look nothing like your photo in Match.com.
Is there anybody there? Can you hear me? Is there anybody there? This is the Christian O'Connell Breakfast Show.
That was Mayor Boris Johnson with his official statement on the riots.
You seen the traffic? It's a nightmare on Elm Street.
And now, Alan Bennett's long-awaited remake of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the Nantwich Leaf Blower kerfuffle.
What do you want? What do you want? No, I'm not paying too much for my car insurance.
I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti. So I gave Mark's dinner party an 8.
Do you like scary movies, Sydney? Oh, sorry, is Sydney there, please?
If you don't keep up payments to your exorcist, there's a danger that your home will become repossessed.
Joke's on you, Dracula. I've got AIDS.
I ate his liver with some jelly beans and a nice umbongo.
I've seen the ring! I wish that builder would pull his trousers up.
I don't have to listen to you. You're just a puppet. If you don't shut up, I'm going to put you back in your box, Mr. Clegg.
I'm afraid he's been bitten by George Michael. He's turned into a vampire.
OK, the next topic is commercials that never made it to air.
Have you got a wicked side? Then you're a prick.
Take 2 bottles into the shower. Not anymore. I've got a proper dildo.
JD Sports. 2,000 looters can't be wrong.
Do you suffer from dull, lifeless hair? Don't worry, Andy Parsons will buy it off you.
With ABS, sat-nav and airbags, this may be the most advanced condom you ever buy.
How much did you say you earned for those Direct Line car insurance accidents? Well, people deserve to hear about this. Honk, 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 honk.
Dara O'Brien. We work, so he doesn't have to.
Cash for cash. Send us your cash in an envelope and we'll send it back, minus commission.
Every year, thousands of bears are captured, tortured and forced to dance in front of crowds of cheering people. Call 0845 now for ticket hotline.
Ash for cash. Put your cremated relatives in an envelope.
Got that bloated feeling? My uncle had that. He was dead in a week.
Smash for cash. Put in mashed potato in an envelope.
Don't just book it, Thomas Cook it. Dignitas in Switzerland.
Why have we got barbecues at low, low prices? Because the summer's been shit and no one's bought them.
At the Dogs Trust, we never put down a healthy dog. But the minute one coughs, it's in the Thames.
Do you suffer from unsightly chest hair? Should have gone to Peck Shavers.
Lynx. Come on, virgins, wash your cocks.
Okay. Unlikely things to hear in a police station.
Here, Sarge, the microwave's broken again. Taser that meat pie for me, will you?
I know it's unlikely, but I don't suppose anybody has handed in Colonel Gaddafi, have they?
I noticed the burglar making his escape. At this moment, I cursed the police cutbacks and gave chase, shouting, Nina, Nina, Nina.
All units, be on the lookout for a purple Renault Clio. Registration number, Saffron Doily 22, Bongella Chrysanthemum. Hiya!
No, we didn't manage to evict many of them, Sarge, but the good news is I got some lucky heather.
No, I've not come to report a crime. It's just that I really missed the bill, so I thought I'd pop in for an hour.
Here, Sarge, pass us the art section out the Guardian, will you, mate?
Yes, I know how identity parade works. That's her! That's her! That's the woman I robbed.
Right, listen up. We've got a new man starting. He's half man, half horse. It's Inspector Morse.
Yes, our new 50-inch plasma screen TV. It is rather nice, isn't it? Well, if you can't beat them, eh?
I am charging you with the murder of Mrs. Thompson. That'll be £7.19, please.
Right, listen up. There's a giant fly attacking the station. I've called the SWAT team.
Thank God you've arrived, officer. Some bloke just jumped into the boot of my car and shot himself 14 times.
Yeah, we got the tox report back. Turns out they go straight after the ticks.
I was about to arrest her, Sarge, but to be honest, my bottle went because she shouted out, "I put a curse upon you!
Okay, the next...
This is a red dwarf. His name is Anthony Worrell Thompson.
Welcome to the sky at night. And if we look out, oh, hell, Croydon's on fire.
Despite getting a very bad press, biological weapons work at much lower temperatures than non-biological weapons.
Without penicillin, well, I'd still be cursing that day I went to Bangkok.
Tonight we look at the ginger community. Physical anomaly or God's cruel joke?
Ah, the Northern Light. Oh no, Manchester's on fire.
But will they find a cure in time? The last hope for mankind lies with scientists here at the Laboratoire Garnier.
Tonight on Show Me the Evidence, we look at the traveller community. Can they really put a curse on you?
And as the sperm swim towards the eggs, it's hard not to think that I've ruined this fried breakfast.
I'm never again going to have a fried breakfast.
Bad things to say in a job interview.
When I said I was a Yale student, I studied key cutting at Mr. Minutes.
Why do we want this job? Don't tell him I have to.
No, I applaud your policy of positive discrimination, and that's why I blacked up.
Can I just check? This office is more than 50 metres from a school.
What do you mean, no experience? Being abducted by aliens isn't an experience, and I don't know what it is.
Well, yes, I would make the perfect train driver. I'm always late, and I'd break down really easily.
I think I'd make a very good diplomat. I'd like to live in Paris with all the other parasites.
What do I see myself doing in 5 years' time? Exactly the same, only on Dave.
Thank you for seeing me. I hope you don't mind if I stay sat down for a moment. I've got a little erection bubbling away.
No, emu, no, emu, no, no, no.
What can I bring to this job? How about the photocopier from my last office?
Yes, well, in spite of my lack of medical experience, I still think of gynecology as a calling.
What are my weaknesses? Fat birds.
Okay, the next topic is unlikely things to hear on a consumer program.
This week on Watchdog, another shower of gullible twats ask us to make sense of their piss-poor decision-making.
Welcome to Watchdog. Here's a dog.
But when he asked the cold callers for their identification, they shot Mr. Bin Laden with an AK-47.
I would like to complain about the boomerang I bought. I threw it, but it never came back.
This week, we investigate bikini waxing strips. Are they just a rip-off?
Tonight, we're investigating fencing and why I got tickets for that instead of the 100 metres final, which is what I wanted.
Many of you who have bought Death Stars have emailed us complaining about a security problem with one of the exhaust vents.
Although Austin the Butcher claims that his sausages are made of premium meat, we can reveal that's bollocks.
The cruise had a 1940s theme, and Tom and Vera were delighted until they were sunk by a U-boat in the North Atlantic.
Yeah, I didn't ask for it, didn't order it, got it even though I don't even want it, and it doesn't even work. We have some more views on the coalition after the break.
What was sold as a vibrator is clearly just a taser with a stale sausage attached to it.
But something was wrong with the car. The clock said 63,000 miles, while the mileometer said 3:15.
I would like to complain about the sushi restaurant at Gatwick Airport. There's nice big portions going round on the conveyor, but they do taste luggagey.
Dear Watchdog, I'm extremely pissed off with this product. I bought just for men, my wife used it, and now I am gay.
Identity theft is on the increase. I'm Dara O'Brien. We work, so he doesn't have to.
Unlikely instructions.
Please do not use this electrical appliance while you're in the bath. Actually, you know what? Go on. If you're that dumb, I think we can afford to lose you.
Nick Clegg Feng Shui. Move everything to the right for an easier life.
Hot noodle. For best results, put back on the shelf.
If pain persists, see a doctor. Just make sure it's not Michael Jackson's doctor.
To light gas, first place match near buttocks.
One of these condoms has got a hole in it. Are you feeling lucky, punk?
Dale Farm yogurt. Contents may settle.
Please retain these assembly instructions in case you want to disassemble the furniture when you realise moving in with her wasn't the best move after all.
Instructions for sandwich toaster. Week 1, eat nothing but toasted sandwiches. Week 2, put in cupboard and never use again.
If unsure how to apply condom, take banana and beat erection with it till it goes away.
Enjoy your animal-shaped biscuits. Do not eat if seal is broken.
To reboot, pick up boots and put them on again.
Congratulations on your new bread maker. Ooh, I bet Kingsmill are quaking in their boots.
Game is over either when one player collects all cheeses or Daddy has a tantrum and kicks the board across the room.
Are your hands full, but you want to transfer 10 donuts?
Okay. The next topic is unlikely things to hear in a restaurant.
Let's skip the pudding. You look like you've had enough already.
Wow, thanks for picking up the bill, Dara.
No, I'm sorry, we don't have snail porridge. No, this isn't owned by Heston Blumenthal. This is Heston Services.
How does crispy aromatic duck sound? Quack, quack. But that was before it was either crispy or aromatic.
Do I have a reservation? Well, I'm not sure about all these Polish people moving over here.
Table for two, please. But no food. I'm a woodworm.
This is a traditional Greek restaurant, so don't worry if you can't pay. The German government will cover it.
You'd like a Foster's? Hang on, I'll see if we've got any left. Barry, any Foster's left? Yeah, keg's nearly full, Jim.
Here's the tip. If you find the rest of the chef's peanuts, please let us know.
Have you been to a harvester before? I'm joking, no one comes twice.
It's nice to see the rugby players getting along with the dwarves.
Well, that's an unusual taste, isn't it? What is in this death by chocolate?
It's nice to see Zara and Mike getting along.
Yes, it is all-you-can-eat night, and that's why you can't come in, Mr. Pickles.
Oh, my God. There's a man's face in my soup and it looks just like me.
Excellent choice, sir. This lady is much fitter than your wife.
Rose for the lady. If you want to do something for the lady, why don't you fuck off?
Unlikely things to read in the Bible.
And lo, they finally saw the sign that God had promised. You are now leaving Swindon.
But when they got there, the tomb was empty. "Rikes," said Scoob.
Sodom and Gomorrah, twinned with Tyne and Weir.
And the children of Israel wandered round the desert for 40 years, until eventually Moses' wife said, "Are you going to ask for directions?" Or...
And Eve did realise that she was naked and she was ashamed. But then Gokwan said, "Look, work it, baby, you look amazing."
And Noah said, if it carries on raining like this, we're going to have to eat the unicorns.
And Moses saw the burning bush and said to his wife, "I think you've overdone that bikini wax again."
And David smote Goliath. He meant to smack him, but he was using predictive text.
Eve! Eve! Use fig leaves. not nettles.
And the Lord said, shit, I've made a wasp.
And Jesus saw a traveller in distress and said unto him, well, why don't you just leave Dale Farm and find somewhere else to live?
And the Lord said to Gideon, take this book and put it in every travel lodge.
Listen, this is really awkward. I know there's a bit of a queue, but it's just that I'm not a really big fan of fish. Oh.
There were only 5 loaves and 2 fishes. Never go to Lidl on a Saturday night.
OK, the next topic, please. Unlikely things to hear in a makeover show.
Welcome to What Not to Wear. A welly on your cock.
This week's Look Good Naked, starring Edwina Currie, is the last in the series. And was recorded shortly before Gok Wan's suicide.
Well, we've started off by ripping up all the decking. Abandoned ship.
We are going to give you back all your confidence and your dignity as soon as we hoover the fat out of your arse.
Michelle has got jowls, false teeth, and, in fact, a moustache. But unfortunately, we're here to do up her front room, not her face.
David and Jane wanted more space, so we've repossessed their house and they're living in the park.
Well, we've pebble-dashed, replastered and put new plumbing in downstairs, and now Anne Robinson is good as new.
Welcome to 60-minute makeup. Oh, babe, actually, that's going to take a lot longer.
If you want to feel better looking and increase your self-esteem, move to Leeds.
And today on Property Ladder, we're going to show you how to break into a property using a ladder.
You're obviously very sensitive about your weight and you shouldn't be. Do you mind if I call you lard arse?
Well, Ian wanted a Renaissance look, so I've just set fire to a Catholic and taken a shit out of the window.
Talking of decking, who wants to punch Nick Knowles in the face?
Today on 10 Years Younger, we're going to try and squeeze 9-year-old Amy back up her mother's womb.
Unlikely things to hear at an awards ceremony.
And the winner is Dara O'Brien.
And the award for Driver of the Year goes to David Cameron for his perfectly executed U-turns.
Welcome to the National Insincerity Awards. And can I say, what a pleasure it is to be here.
And Soap of the Year goes to... Coronation Street!
Would you please welcome your host for the night, Dec.
And the award for Best Actress this evening goes to John Travolta's wife.
Father of the Year is David Cameron.
And predictably, for the 50th year running, the Rear of the Year has been won by the same man. Come on up, Chris. It's a Chris Rea joke.
And the award for best film, Kling film.
Oh, that was all right, though, was it? It's bullshit, Dara.
It's all politics, man.
This is the point in the Psychic Awards when we like to remember those we lost next year.
Well, they said it was ill-advised, but welcome to the first Witness Protection Scheme Award.
And the award for most cleavage on view goes to Eamon Holmes's arse.
Well, now our final category. Category C. There are 3 sex offenders nominated tonight.
And I'd just like to say to the wife at home, you better not be there when I get home, sister. Because I'm big time now.
And the best posthumously released rap record goes to Kim Yong for I Told You I Was Ill.
Too late. Too late. And to present best film in a foreign language, would you please welcome Nick Griffin.
And the winner of Rear of the Year goes to Chris Rea.
Okay. Our next topic is unlikely lines from a thriller.
What more evidence do you need that there is a mole? Look at the lawn.
Your wife's head in a box. You must be the most unlucky contestant ever on Deal or No Deal.
What colour wire do I have to cut? The lilac, the mauve, the salmon pink or the fuchsia?
I want to make you a vodka martini. You can't handle vermouth.
Is that a gun in your pocket, or are you just pleased to see me? She purred. Yes, it is a gun in my pocket, and I've just shot my cock off.
I'm telling you, there will be no attack. This is a side picked by Roy Hodgson.
So, Mr. Bond, we meet... Ah! Flipping cat!
I'm telling you, Captain, I work best alone! Or sometimes in a team! Basically, I'm saying I'm flexible.
So, Mr. Bond, we meet at last. Why didn't we have a Skype?
I would like to gently lift your horse's foot. You can't handle the hoof!
I had human liver with fava beans and a nice Chianti. But the entertainment was excellent and he was a lovely host. So I'm going to give Hannibal 7 out of 10.
Here's Johnny! Do you mind? I'm trying to have a shit in it.
This prostitute isn't dead, said the Norwegian detective. She's just pining for the fjords.
And as his eyes gradually became accustomed to the shadowy darkness, he realised he was not alone in that room. Who is it?
It's me, Peter!
Okay. Unlikely things to hear at Euro 2012.
And there we see in the stands John Terry's wife, and with his arm around her, Rio Ferdinand.
Well, this French team has 3 strikers. Luckily, the other 8 have agreed to play.
Tonight's game is in the incredible city of Kiev. The outskirts are sort of crispy crumbly.
And Holland are 2 down. Yes, I've finished the crossword.
And the Greeks have reached the quarter-final. If only they'd had a massive bet on that.
Oh, that's a bad one. You can see the bone sticking right out. These Ukrainian meat pies really are awful.
And now over to Mark Lawrenson, who has something really interesting to say.
Well, I've never seen that on a pitch before. It seems the referee really is a wanker.
No, mate. This is row 6. Euro 2012.
Here in Ukraine, we launch campaign. Kick football out of racism.
And that is some incredible dribbling there from the Irish supporters. Sorry.
And things are about to turn ugly as we go back to the studio to Adrian Childs.
And it's Germany against Greece, the ultimate dilemma for the British royal family.
And that is quite simply some wonderful defending there from John Terry's legal team.
Well, the Russians and Ukrainians are going to settle this with a shootout. No penalties, just a shootout.
So, Germany are camped in the Polish half. Not for the first time.
And Rooney's trying to get around the keeper, but his keeper's not letting him out of his cage.
OK, the next topic is things you wouldn't hear on a political discussion show.
Sorry, did I interrupt you?
No, sir. No, you've had your say. Now shut the fuck up.
Round the table tonight, Eric Pickles. And round another table, 4 other politicians.
Sadomasochism is a perversion, but we will clamp down on it.
And tonight we'll be discussing Greece. First question, who'd win in a fight, Danny Zuko or Kaniki?
So, Nick Clegg, which of your 2 faces would you like to answer that question with?
Yes, I agree. Britain's performance in the second quarter has not been all we hoped for. But there is a reason for that. This is a tough job, and I am shit at it.
We will not let Abu Hamza off the hook.
Well, Mr. Dimbleby, my question is, if I were a beleaguered European economy, how would you stimulate my growth? And that goes to contestant number 3.
Of course, I understand that people are worried about schools and hospitals, but what you don't understand is I don't give a shit.
Is anyone else horny?
And now we're going to head over and see what the polls are telling us. Hello!
Are they Chinese now?
A bit of Chinese. Yeah, they are. Right.
So it sounds like Polish, the way we say it here.
That's true.
Here in Poland.
Right, now let's go over to Wales and see what they're saying to us.
And so we have a question here for the Prime Minister from Nancy Cameron, aged 8. And it's, when are you going to pick me up, Dad?
Unlikely things to read on a health insurance form.
Would you describe the condition of your heart as A, very good, B, mediumly good, or C, boo!
Do you ever temporary blackouts?
Do objects in the middle distance appear to be coming to me, to you, to me, to you? You may be suffering from chuckle vision.
Are you suffering from, or have you ever had, an STD, you slag?
Are you the only black guy in a horror film?
Have you ever experienced a burning sensation when you pee? Were you drunk at the time and holding a cigarette at the same time?
Please describe your alcohol intake. Moderate, average, excessive, Glaswegian.
What's your blood type? You can do 50 words a minute, innit, bruv?
Buddhists, what was your last cause of death?
Do you suffer from dyslexia? If so, please put a bic in this tox.
Do you smoke? Can I have one?
Do you hear voices? No. Are you deaf? No. So you do hear voices? Yes. I'm sorry, you have lied.
Would you describe yourself as very fit, quite fit, or a bit of a minger?
Do you suffer from dizziness, double vision, or seizures? Then why did you take a penalty for England?
OK, the next topic is unlikely lines from a war movie.
Bad luck, Sir Winston. I'm afraid the Second World War's gone to penalties.
I'm going to go and rescue a horse that's trapped in the wire. You put the potatoes on.
We've located the battleship. It is in the squares B5, B6, B7, 8, 9.
I was sent upriver in Vietnam, tasked with killing a renegade colonel. That was one hell of a gap year.
I haven't seen a case of trench foot this bad since the Isle of Wight festival.
It is better to die on your feet than live on your knees. Anyway, enough about that Talisa video.
Well, if nothing else, this is going to make a lovely tapestry.
We're at 5,000 fathoms. Bing! The hull will never take it, Captain. Bing! And you going bing isn't helping either.
Louis, this could be the start of a beautiful friendship, but only if you dress up as a nurse and give me a discharge.
Sir, new intelligence has come in from the letters page of the Daily Mail, and it seems Herr Hitler has a point.
I can't stand the sound of the guns. Why did I move to Tottenham?
In the Marines, our motto is no one gets left behind. Private Cameron, where is your daughter?
We make an amphibious landing here. We scale the cliff, avoid the sweeper, bounce on the big balls, and I'll meet you in the wipeout zone.
Chaps, we're about to go over the top. I have a message for you from High Command. Simply says, war! What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Say it again now. War!
Don't put your stuff in that one. It's got a really catchy edge on it. I call it the Hurt Locker.
Medic! 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 I'll tell you what the problem is. I've been shot in my dick.
OK, and unlikely things to hear at Wimbledon.
Due to mock the week overrunning, footage from centre court has now been cancelled.
It's out again. Bigger shorts, that's what he needs.
Well, that is an incredibly strong backhand, but he did tell the ball boy he wanted the water ice cold.
Welcome to centre court. They've just closed the roof. It's a lot lower than we thought.
There appears to be a lot of grunting in this women's match. And if the man at the back doesn't stop it, we're going to have to ask him to leave.
So that rain delay, slightly longer than we were hoping. It's now mid-August.
So Venus and Serena, the old rivals, meet again, and it's the eternal question, which one would you do?
So, 1540, the last time someone British won here.
And it's the Russian favourite, Novak Djokovic, against the British number 3, absolutely Novak Djokovic.
Well, he's very lucky to get to love 40. I've only loved 5, and I had to pay 3 of them.
Of course, they start training tennis umpires at a very young age, and there they are, sitting in their high chairs, shouting, "Juice, juice."
And players being interrupted as 2 players have walked onto the court saying they've got it booked from 4 and it's now 5 past.
And if we have a look at his follow-through, we can see he shouldn't have worn white shorts.
The doubles have proved great entertainment today. I've had 10 of them, and let me tell you, Sue Barker is looking absolutely gorgeous.
OK. The next topic is things you wouldn't hear on a consumer programme.
On Watchdog tonight, Anne Robinson has had a seizure, but you won't be able to tell.
Dear Watchdog, these sausages are inedible. Don't know what it is. They look like someone off the telly.
But the patio had been badly laid, and 3 weeks later, the body popped up again.
My loft has recently been converted. It is now Muslim and won't let me in unless I take my shoes off.
You can invest your money in a high-interest ISA, or you can blow the lot on cocaine. Come on, man, you used to be fun. What's wrong with you?
Tonight, we're investigating United Dairies, R. Whites and Cadbury's in a feature we're calling Milk Milk Lemonade, round the corner chocolate's made.
Where are the best places to watch other people having sex? We'll find out tonight on Watchdogging.
The moral of the story, even if it is called Crazy Golf, don't have your willy out. Good night.
This secret camera we're using is really, really tiny, which is lucky because that rogue builder is about to shove it up my arse.
He paid for the house to be pebble dashed, but the technique wasn't quite what he was expecting.
My doctor said I could have up to 20 units a week, but now I've eaten half my kitchen.
We tested this dishwasher against this dishwasher, and the Filipino was better.
Not only would the toilet not flush, but I am now banned from IKEA.
If it sounds too good to be true and it looks too good to be true, then it's magic.
Things you won't hear at the Olympics.
Very impressive. Usain Bolt has done a lap of honour and won the 400 metres as well.
So Daly going for 3.5 somersaults with Pike, and you have to say, the Pike doesn't look too happy about it.
Good morning. No surprises here at the final of the archery.
Victoria Pendleton cycling incredibly fast at the moment, desperate to try and get away from a horny Boris Johnson.
She was hoping for bronze, but sadly for Sue Barker, she is bright orange.
I would like to apologise for my earlier mistake. We are, in fact, watching the javelin and not, as I said, dwarf darts.
And all of the sailing golds have gone to the Somali team in exchange for the safe return of Sir Steve Redgrave.
That is the 5th girl to jump off the top board and miss the huge pool below. Women divers.
This gymnast has a maximum degree of difficulty. His name is Churchick Kiddock Kuddup Flidley Flifliflopla.
That is the 10-minute free view of the beach volleyball. If you'd like to watch the full please enter your pin now.
And the crowd are on their feet. So much for getting the stadium finished on time.
Well, that really was a spectacular day of weightlifting, but before we go, we've got time to just look over some of the most spectacular anal prolapses we've seen today.
Lane 1, a family eating popcorn. Lane 2, 2 guys on a stag night. Lane 3, I'm in the wrong place, this is bowling.
And now in the weightlifting, it's the snatch. She's a big girl, but it's still compulsive.
Well, here at Weymouth, our gold medal prospect is out. In the last race, he touched a boy, and he's been arrested by social services.
OK, next topic. Unlikely things to read in a children's book.
And so the tiger came to tea and then shagged another woman and went back to playing golf.
As soon as Professor Snape saw Hermione, he knew in a few years she would be really hot.
What's a Gruffalo? Said the Gruffalo. It's a buffalo on 40 a day.
These bacon sandwiches are delicious, said Pooh. Aren't they, Piglet? Piglet?
And so, the 101 Dalmatians fell asleep. Hang on, those aren't Dalmatians. Those are just ordinary white puppies riddled with bullets.
Hello, my name is the Very Hungry Caterpillar. I have an eating disorder.
Unfortunately, Bob the Builder couldn't fix it because Bobski the Polish builder had undercut him and done far better job.
This place is rubbish, said Edmund. Doesn't anybody have sex here? Oh, yes, said Aslan. What do you think the Griffins are for?
But despite his protests, Mr. Tickle was put on the register.
After years of depression and alcoholism, the little girl emigrated. And that is the end of Alice in Sunderland.
This is Pooh Corner, explained one of the other captives.
Have you heard about Badger? Said Ratty. He's been gassed to stop the spread of bovine TB.
As the train came slowly past, the railway children chucked stones at it and spray-painted Thomas is a wanker.
Tales of the unexpected. Once upon a...
And then, as he did every night, fantastic Mr. Fox knocked over a bin and shat on a doorstep.
Rejected questions from this year's exams.
If sine A over A equals sine B over B equals sine C over C, what are the chances that you're ever going to use this in your sodding adult life?
According to Germany, how much is Greece worth? 1 mark.
Exam board of Zaragoza. Paint Jesus.
Jonathan is a Nigerian prince. What are your credit card details?
3 girls in this hall are pregnant. Who's the daddy?
Compare the following. A, the market. B, the meerkat.
Heat the crystals until they produce a vapour. Inhale. The exam seems easier now, doesn't it?
Without swearing, describe Peter Andre.
Mental arithmetic. Count up the voices in your head.
Using the paper provided, roll a joint and pass it round.
Does this look infected?
In the recent Olympics, Great Britain won 3 times as many gold medals as Australia. That's not a question, just a statement.
One Direction are incredibly popular. Explain.
Sport. How do you spell Akabusi? Is it A-K-B-U-C? Yes or no?
If Steve eats 2 apples, an orange and a banana, why is he such a fat fucker?
OK, next topic is things you didn't hear at the Olympics.
And that's yet another gold medal for Ireland.
One thing I grew tired of was the Canadian national anthem.
Well, there's Prince Harry in the crowd. I would recognise those buttocks anywhere.
Well, what an opening ceremony. James Bond, Harry Potter, Mary Poppins, showing the world that the greatest Britons are fictional.
Sweltering conditions here at the ladies' beach volleyball final, but still those 4 blokes in the front row haven't taken their coats off.
Ta-da!
And that's the starting pistol, and they're running. They finished. To be honest, I usually do the snooker.
Welcome to Greco-Roman wrestling, where a man from Greece and a man from Italy wrestle each other for the €1 coin they found on the floor.
Claire Balding there, but very slowly, and she's still got more than Colin Jackson.
And the long jumper from Sierra Leone there, raking the sand for landmines.
You've got to admit he's pretty fast for a white guy.
Well, let's look at the 400-metre hurdles. Those are very big hurdles.
And the winner is jumping up and down with delight, which will probably see them disqualified from the wheelchair.
Well, it's the treble. It's the 3 he wanted. Usain Bolt has really enjoyed his night with the Swedish women's handball team.
And next up, it's the dressage, or as it's properly known, river dance for horses.
And now it's time for the clean and jerk, and clean again with an old sock.
Unlikely complaints to TV channels.
Dear Jim will fix it. Why aren't you replying to me letters?
Dear Living TV, stop breathing on me, you're freaking me out.
Dear BBC, I find it extremely offensive that after each scene we'd like to see, the host, Dara O'Brien, appears to emit a loud fart.
Dear BBC, why have you given Andy Parsons that ridiculous wig this week?
Dear BBC, I recently saw something on the Antiques Roadshow I would like to purchase. How much is Fiona Bruce?
Dear Dragon's Den, I have lost my keys, and for that reason, I'm out.
Dear ITV, I just watched Loose Women in High Definition. Please remove this option.
Dear Babe Station, sorry for the scrawl, I'm having to write this with my left hand.
Dear Babe Station, I've watched your channel for 10 hours now and I've yet to see a film about a pig working as a sheepdog. However, I shall persevere.
Dear Channel 5, I have watched Celebrity Big Brother. I think it should be renamed Big Brother. Is it A, K, B, U, C? Yes or no?
If Steve eats 2 apples, an orange and a banana, why is he such a fat fucker?
OK, next topic is things you didn't hear at the Olympics.
And that's yet another gold medal for Ireland.
if there's one thing I grew tired of was the Canadian national anthem.
Well, there's Prince Harry in the crowd. I would recognise those buttocks anywhere.
Well, what an opening ceremony. James Bond, Harry Potter, Mary Poppins, showing the world that the greatest Britons are fictional.
Sweltering conditions here at the ladies' beach volleyball final, but still those 4 blokes in the front row haven't taken their coats off.
Ta-da!
And that's the starting pistol, and they're running. They finished. To be honest, I usually do the snooker.
Welcome to Greco-Roman wrestling, where a man from Greece and a man from Italy wrestle each other for the €1 coin they found on the floor.
Claire Balding there, but very slowly, and she's still got more than Colin Jackson.
And the long jumper from Sierra Leone there, raking the sand for landmines.
You've got to admit he's pretty fast for a white guy.
Well, let's look at the 400-metre hurdles. Those are very big hurdles.
And the winner is jumping up and down with delight, which will probably see them disqualified from the wheelchair marathon.
Well, it's the treble. It's the 3 he wanted. Usain Bolt has really enjoyed his night with the Swedish women's handball team.
And next up, it's the dressage, or as it's properly known, river dance for horses.
And now it's time for the clean and jerk, and clean again with an old sock.
Unlikely complaints to TV channels.
Dear Jim will fix it. Why aren't you replying to me letters?
Dear Living TV, stop breathing on me, you're freaking me out.
Dear BBC, I find it extremely offensive that after each scene we'd like to see, the host, Dara O'Brien, appears to emit a loud fart.
Dear BBC, why have you given Andy Parsons that ridiculous wig this week?
Dear BBC, I recently saw something on the Antiques Roadshow I would like to purchase. How much is Fiona Bruce?
Dear Dragon's Den, I have lost my keys, and for that reason, I'm out.
Dear ITV, I just watched Loose Women in High Definition. Please remove this option.
Dear Babe Station, sorry for the scrawl, I'm having to write this with my left hand.
Dear Babe Station, I've watched your channel for 10 hours now and I've yet to see a film about a pig working as a sheepdog. However, I shall persevere.
Dear Channel 5, I have watched Celebrity Big Brother. I think it should be renamed Big Brother.
Dear BBC, why don't you get Irish comedian Ed Byrne to do a documentary about ladies' pants?
Dear Dave, have you seen Phil? Yours, Bob.
Dear Embarrassing Bodies, I'm a man trapped inside a woman's body. I got mixed up between superglue and lube.
Dear Dave Jarvu, have you seen Phil Jarvu? Yours, Bob Jarvu.
Dear BBC, where can I get one of those blurred number plates you always see on television?
Dear Embarrassing Bodies, I think there may be something wrong with my penis. I've enclosed it in an envelope for you to
Dear BBC, why have you changed the name of Snog, Marry, Avoid to 3 Men in a Boat?
OK, the next topic is things you wouldn't hear in a survival show.
Not all of us survived last night's tropical fruit juice storm. 5 alive.
At last, I have found some nuts and some berries. I hate it when they rearrange the aisles at Asda.
We dropped Piers Morgan and Jeremy Clarkson into a remote area of the Amazon rainforest with no supplies and no means of contacting the outside world. You're welcome.
There are many threats to the children of the Nabutu tribe. Crocodiles, snakes, Madonna.
Unfortunately, you do have to improvise some things. I've been using these leaves for wiping my bottom, which is why I've been thrown out of the salad bar.
And to make this wigwam, I just used 3 poles. Because, well, they're good workers and they're cheap.
It's a terrible moment when your fellow mountaineer turns to you and says he's got his arm stuck in a crevasse and you're going to have to cut it off. And then when he comes round, he says, no, not that one.
Everyone in this gorilla's family has a role. Unfortunately, I'm his love bitch.
If you're really lost, it's time to use your Duke of Edinburgh skills. Hopefully, you can offend the indigenous tribespeople enough that they'll chase you out of the forest.
So I'm going to show you how to make a snare, just in case, God forbid, you ever have to improvise a jazz-style drum solo.
Perhaps the most rewarding thing about looking at the women of the Nabutu tribe is they have their tits out.
Yesterday, I punctured my inflatable, which is terrible. There isn't a sex shop for miles.
So I'm at home, and there's an 8-foot anaconda snake coming through the letterbox. I think it's some kind of Amazon mix-up.
Tonight on Bushcraft, the Vajazzle.
Unlikely things to hear on a property show.
6 months in, and Mike has fallen out with the builder. There was no window there, and neither of them noticed.
With violence and strong language from the very beginning, it's a place in the Sunderland.
Yes, it is north-facing, but on the plus side, it's a caravan, so you can just turn it round.
Get that fish out of here, it stinks. You should never leave a place in the sun.
We've just 1 hour while Gina's at the shops to improve her flat in Luton. We're setting it on fire and moving it to Oxford.
Well, it's another setback. This time the structure is damaged. And for the first time, I'm asking myself, will the Death Star ever be finished?
And more information on how to get together a deposit for a house can be found in our free leaflet, When Will Nana Die?
So, you bought it at auction for £100,000, but what exactly are you going to do with Middlesbrough?
Well, what we've done is we've knocked the wall between the kitchen and the lounge down, and what that's done is killed all the people who were sitting in the lounge.
The kitchen's done in a very modern style. We call it crack den.
We're looking at a well-equipped council house in Hull. Fridge, oven, washing machine. In fact, this is one of the nicest gardens we've seen.
This week on Grand Designs, my gran designs a house. It'll be shit. She's got terrible arthritis and not even a rudimentary qualification.
3 coats of varnish and a new rug, and Brucey is ready for his next show.
Welcome to the 74-hour-long obsessive-compulsive episode of How Clean Is Your House?
Knock it down, tarmac it, fuck 'em.
OK, the next topic is unlikely things to hear in a maternity ward.
Mr. Parsons, your baby looks exactly like you. But mind you, so does every other baby.
There are complications, I'm afraid, for a start. I'm not a doctor.
I definitely can see the head. You should do your flies up, Doctor.
Bad news, I'm afraid. He's ginger. Your Highness.
So, would you like to hold the little fella? Or shall I give you the baby?
Mrs. Jones, I'm going to need you to push. And then when we've got the ambulance started, we'll try and get you to hospital.
Oh, God, is that my baby? I've given birth to Andy Parsons.
I'd stay up that end and talk to your wife if I were you, Mr. Smith. It looks like Alien versus Predator down here.
And this is the ward for unwanted twins. We call it the Jed ward.
Basically, you just turn them over and slap them on the arse. These nurses' parties are great.
Nice to see you again, Mrs. Jolie. If you'd like to just move along to the next window to collect your order.
Oh, this isn't your first baby, is it?
You have a bouncing baby boy. I know that because I dropped him in the delivery room.
OK, big breath. Big breath in, hold it, and pass the joint to the midwife.
If you're not in when we deliver your baby, is it OK if we leave it with a neighbour?
That's good. No, no, I do like it, darling. Just not in that colour.
I know you're in great pain, but we need to know your name. Right. Doctor for Mrs. Fuckoff.
OK. Unlikely things to hear in a news programme.
A tornado has struck the east coast of America, carrying everything with it. Let's go over to our Washington correspondent in Hawaii.
Welcome to Sky News. At the moment, the sky is blue.
After years of searching, the police say that they are now close to finding who let the dogs out. they have new leads.
Right, now let's go over to the news in the shitty place you live.
Scientists have injected a human embryo with Marmite. The woman gave birth to twiglets.
Continuing our major story about news organisations hacking people, let's read a few of your emails.
More on that volcanic eruption in Iceland. 2 of the R's have closed, 1 of the tills is out of order.
This is the world's most literal reporter saying, back to the studio.
And now over to Sue with the weather. I've had her.
Our top story tonight. Anger grows amongst autocue operators following a massive pay cut. Bum tits Willy fart. I made him say that.
It's hot and sunny outside, so why not head down the beach? You might see some tits.
And now for the weather report. Let's hope it's a hot one. Oh no, it's Rob McElwee.
And finally...
I'm in The Hague, which must be very uncomfortable for him.
A quick look at the weather now.
Okay. The next topic is unlikely things to read on a medical label.
Use only if you're immobile or find it difficult to move. Tested on Dara O'Brien.
Anti-diarrhea medicine. In an emergency, shove the bottle up your arse.
As recommended by Michael Jackson.
Ditetramethyl chlorobenzoate for the anemial effluence of the tricordic aorta. Does exactly what it says on the tin.
Groin cream. Not suitable for people with a nut allergy.
Homeopathic tablets. Side effects, none. Main effects, none.
Embarrassed using Anusol? Why not try this? Arse crack soothe.
Do not eat dairy. Otherwise, we will have nowhere to milk the cows.
Viagra. It'll give you more than 8%.
Contains Placebox and made it upperlin.
Viagra, take 15 minutes before sex. Or if single, strap in for the wank of a lifetime.
Obesity pills. Don't eat the bottle, chubby.
Keep out of reach of children. Not the tablets, you.
Store somewhere cool, like New York.
Pregnancy test. Pick up your daughter's boyfriend and shout, "Was it you?"
Unlikely things for a sports commentator to say.
They think it's all over, but Wayne Rooney is telling his hair surgeons that they've missed a bit.
So just 2 laps to go, and then these dancers from Stringfellows will be heading home for the night.
Tragedy strikes the Winter Olympics as the ski jumping is accidentally held next to a clay pigeon shoot.
And that's a 200-yard drive. Colin Montgomery there, too lazy to walk to get the paper.
Well, with 200 metres to go, he is on the shoulder of the Ethiopian. I don't know if it's legal for him to be there, but I'm going to slow him down a bit.
Lewis Hamilton still leads, but there's trouble up ahead as Dick Dastardly and Muttley are digging a hole under turn 17.
She can see the line now. She can see the line. She's definitely pregnant.
Welcome back to the women's shot put. Here's the Lithuanian. My, what a pretty little thing.
Well, let's go over to Epsom for the 2:30. There are 16 runners. Everyone else is riding a horse. What a race this is going to be.
And after Andy Murray's recent appearance on television's Mock the Week, on to centre court we see the lolloping frame of Dara O'Brien.
And that's an incredible right hook there from Abu Hamza.
So, Boris Johnson, are you enjoying the Olympics? Oh, I'm terribly sorry. Claire Balding, are you enjoying the Olympics?
And there was some confusion earlier on centre court when Andy Murray thought he'd signed one of those giant novelty tennis balls, and it turned out to be a fat kid's face with jaundice.
And the England team sticking with the classic 4-4-2 formation. This really is the most organised orgy I've ever seen. And Serena Williams remains unseeded for a second year. I can't help thinking that a bit of lippy and a push-up bra...
OK, the next topic is bad things to say at a job interview.
What do I think of nepotism? That's a good question, Dad.
Yeah, I served for 10 years in Afghanistan. I was in the Taliban.
I like to see myself as a people person, although some people have called me a trafficker.
So I'm just checking. You definitely don't do a CRB check.
You ask a lot of questions.
Sorry, could you repeat the question? My ankle bracelet's beeping really loudly.
Well, I am a fully qualified geography teacher, and the school's next door, is it?
If it were to take you on as an accountant, how do you think you'd cope with all the extra fanny you'd be getting?
Do I like jogging? Oh, I thought he said, do I like dogging? The answer's still yes.
You've demonstrated a bad attitude, an inability to listen, and a complete lack of interest in others. Welcome to Ryanair's customer service team.
Why do I want to be a vet? Ketamine.
Well, they gave me a 2-2 at university, so I just thought I'd wear it to the interview.
I'd say my three strongest points are attention to detail, a determination to see things through, yada, yada, yada.
Yes, I think I would be the perfect candidate today to make the platform announce.
Why do you want to join the army? I just love a man in uniform.
What would I do if I won the lottery? Tell you to fuck off.
Okay. Lines you wouldn't hear in a Bond movie.
Agents aren't what they used to be, 007. Meet 118 118.
One dry martini, shaken not stirred, and 4 Jaeger bombs.
So, Bond, we're really pushing product placement in this film. So here's your new secretary, Miss Money Supermarket.
Goldfinger, what are you doing with that laser? You've nearly burnt my cock off.
So, laser guided, fires at will, lovely in the hand, incredible repeat speed. Tell me, Mr. Bond, where'd you get a penis like this?
MI6. No, you're a lot older than that, Bond.
Aha, Mr. Bond. It appears that somebody has stolen my cat.
I'm sorry, James, I'm going to have to remove your licence to kill. Also, I would question the validity of this boob inspector card.
Hey, it's me, Pussy. Pussy no more? Yeah, I'm post-op now. It's going real good.
Professor, how could you? You tried to mix giant broccoli with 3 million eggs. So, your terrible plan has failed.
And this watch that fires bullets, and I'm afraid that's all the gadgets I can give you, Bond. I'm the 8 items or less queue.
I think you may need an eye test, Bond. That sex-mad blonde you've been shagging in the embassy is Julian Assange.
So she's smuggling diamonds somehow, Bond, and your job is to find out how. Just go to the hotel reception and ask for Fanny Vajazzle.
Okay, the next topic is unlikely things to hear at a party conference.
Yes, I'm a millionaire. Yes, I went to Eton. But I really feel I can relate to the rest of you scum.
My name's Dave, like the TV channel. We both repeat the same old shit over and over again.
Would Nick Clegg please come to Lost Property, where his missing spine has been handed in?
Am I to the left? Am I to the right? I'll be honest. It depends which trousers I'm wearing.
So that concludes the conference. One more question. Would anyone like to buy a 40-foot sign with the word Conservatives written on it?
I'd avoid the hotel bar. Anne Widdecombe's in there reading 50 Shades of Grey.
It has just been unacceptable cut after unacceptable cut. Why can't Boris Johnson find a proper hairdresser?
Welcome to the UKIP conference, the first conference to be held here in Islamabad.
Education, education, education. Can someone fix my auto cue, please?
Politicians, ready! Gladiators, ready!
Let's get drunk and join the Euro.
This government say they're phasing out Roman numerals. Not on my watch.
There have never been enough women in this party, and that is why, from this afternoon, you can call me
Stephanie.
Our strategy for this Labour conference is embrace the geek and not, as I said earlier, release the gimp.
Here in support of Testicular Cancer Awareness Week, it's Shadow Chancellor Ed Ball.
I don't know about you, but I have swallowed so much semen this weekend.
My name's Dave, like the TV channel, and I repeat the same old shit over and over again.
There we go. At the end of that round. Unlikely lines from a cosmetics commercial.
Do you want tighter, smoother skin? Why not try getting fat?
For a rich, all-over tan, get into a bath David Dickinson's just got out of.
Do you suffer from low self-esteem, feel like a failure, think you can't go on? Then take 200 Nurofen. That should do the trick.
Maybe she's born with it. Maybe she got it off that guy in Ibiza.
Now, Daphne here is wearing a lot of concealer. Daphne?
What's my secret? I murdered my first husband.
Want thicker, fuller lips? Then try telling a nightclub bouncer he's a twat to his face.
Clinique. Because clinic reminds me of chlamydia and stuff.
This eyeliner really works. And it tastes good too. That's why we call it chicken tikka mascara.
I'm Dean Gaffney, and I'm worth it.
We don't test any of our products on animals. We use Filipino children.
Is your man hairy all over? Then why not try head, shoulders, knees and toes?
New anti-wrinkle cream for men. My scrotum has never felt so smooth.
For the most relaxing bubble bath imaginable. Why not have a little cheeky wank when you're in there?
Do you dream of longer, fuller lashes? Then you should try re-evaluating your priorities.
Sweaty from the tube, frizzy hair from the rain, black snot. She's got the London look.
3 steps to a better skin. No crisps, no chips, no burgers.
OK, the next topic is unlikely things to hear on Doctor Who.
When I was giving you a quote as your cleaner doctor, I was giving you a quote from the outside.
No, there isn't going to be a new doctor. I'm being replaced by a helpline.
That is the last time we park the TARDIS outside the Portaloos at Glastonbury.
Davros, we meet again. Oh, Lord Sugar, I'm so sorry.
Hey, saw you from across the TARDIS, and I think I regenerated in my pants.
Doctor, doctor, you must help me. I think I'm a pair of curtains.
Tragic news about the Ood. There's been a terrible flood. They tried to escape into the wood, but it didn't do any good, and now they're all dude.
No, I'm the doctor who works for the World Health Organization.
Yes, I mainly hang around young women. Yes, I was on television in the 1970s. Where are you going with this?
You've got to believe me, Clara. This is our best chance. Now, unzip my flies and I'll explain later.
Let's go forward in time by an hour. Then we get a quid off the pizza.
Now, the first thing to remember on planet Xenon is turn off data roaming.
We are 10 million years in the future. H.G. Wells has just got married.
You are the doctor. I am the tracheotomy patient.
I am the doctor. I am 1,200 years old. And this is my assistant, who's 27.